Let's go. Okay, introducing next on my show, accepting my invitation on to appear on this episode. We have a San Diegan singer, if I stand correct, a songwriter, a dancer, a model, plus an actress in her own right. I'm joined by Angelina David, joining me on my show. Welcome today. Nice to have you on.
Hello, thank you so much for having me.
Great. It's nice to have you on. How are you today?
I'm pretty good. Yeah, I'm in Memphis, Tennessee right now. And so it's about 9:30, so I woke up like an hour ago or so. I like to sleep in a little bit, but super happy to be here. Very excited.
That's amazing. And
Beautiful morning
I
here.
just wanted to get you on my show to chat about your new single you've released and promoting called Gas Station Boy.
Yes, yes, thank you so much. The funny thing is, I actually wrote the song as a joke, and I was like, wait, this is kind of catchy. This is kind of funny. And so it's very true to me. And it's like, this is an actual, like, that actually happened to me. And I actually made up this whole thing in my head. And I was this is just me. And so I'm like, I'm just gonna make this happen because this is funny and it's authentically me. And yeah.
Amazing. And before we discuss a bit more about the record, how long have you always had a passion for music? I think in my interview introduced you from San Diego originally.
Yes, originally from San Diego, and then I moved to Tennessee when I was about 7 years old. So I've kind of grown up here, which has been great. And I've gotten to work a lot in the South, but I still have a lot of family in California. So I go to California a lot, and I definitely don't sound like I'm from Tennessee, but I do love it here as well. But yes, I grew up doing theater actually. And so when I was 5 years old, I did my first musical and I just fell in love with it. And I just absolutely loved it. And I was like, okay, this is what I want to do the rest of my life. And I love acting and I love music. And I'm like, I can do it all, right? And so I figured, why not? So I'm kind of crazy and I do it all, but I love it so much. And
Mm.
so, yeah.
Oh, the best of both worlds. So, California, that's the Golden State. Is that the nickname for that side of the
Yes.
world?
Yes.
I'm not sure what they call Tennessee if they've got that nickname for that state. I know it's Elvis. He's from the home of the king, the state of the king.
Yes. Memphis. Yes. Yes. That's where I am right now. Yep.
Oh, brilliant! That very musical state
Ah,
has a lot of great history there. Does that inspire your music as well? You know,
yeah, I'd say so. You can really feel the creative energy here, which I love. That's one of my favorite things about Memphis and then Nashville. I work a lot in Nashville, and there's like a huge country music industry there, and they're actually starting to film more things there. And so I get to work with a lot of creatives
mm,
out there, which I really enjoy. And I'm actually moving to Atlanta soon, which is a huge up and coming film industry place, which I'm really excited about. And there's a big music scene there. And so, like, really, a lot of these towns that are very like kind of grew up being influenced by music. They're very like it's a very creative energy, and I absolutely love that. So I really thrive on
yeah,
that.
it's good to be connected with like-minded artistic people as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
Mm. Brill. Do you self play any musical instruments at all?
Yeah, I do. I play guitar, piano, and ukulele as well. But singing is definitely my main thing
Mm.
because like I really kind of only play those instruments to like accompany myself when I play sets around town and
Mm.
stuff, just so I can make it easier. But I do love playing as well.
Do you feel like you were born to be like center stage in front of an audience?
Maybe, I don't know.
Mm.
I'm really just drawn to storytelling and connecting with others and really like there's such a beautiful way that like art can connect people and it's like it like transcends everything, and it's like it's so cool to be a part of that and just like and I just really feel like I'm able to do that through my
Mm.
music and acting as well. And so I just like I've kind of always been very, very drawn to that. And I just like I know it's what I'm meant to do. So I'm not gonna stop. I love it.
Right, well done. Um, and how would you describe your sounds and genres of music that inspire, your creative process of writing music?
Yeah, so I'm very inspired by Olivia Rodrigo. She's my main influence. I just love how vulnerable and honest she is. And she does like every genre. And that's kind of what I do. Like, I'm actually in the process of working on an album and recording it. And I've already like written all the songs on there and they're all different genres. And so Gas Station Boy, it's very punk rock, which is definitely kind of the whole album is just like what it's like to be a 19-year-old girl today. And it's just like all these big emotions. And a lot of times the way that my brain expresses that is through like punk rock music, which I think is really funny. So like there's a lot of punk rock on there. And then I also have like a couple like kind of soulful country tracks too, which is very different. I have a couple just like simple piano ones as well and more like poppy ones. And so it's kind of like there's definitely something for everyone
Mm.
on there. I hope for sure.
Nice. And just in my notes here, I added that the gas station boy has a punky pop feel to it, as you said, akin to the likes of Avril Lavigne and Kelly Clarkson.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. I love Avril, and she's been a huge influence for me. And I've gotten compared to her a lot, which I absolutely love because I love all of her music, and I just love the 2000s era. That's like my favorite, and so
Mm.
I listen to a lot of music like that. And so I'm sure, like subconsciously, like growing up listening to all that, like my brain was like, yes, this is it right here. So I love
That's
it.
cool. And the gas station boy, could it be about a guy who is kind of hot-headed, with cars and, and being impetuous?
Well, actually, it I remember the day I actually wrote it. It was February 8th. The day before I had just had my heart broken by this guy who I thought was really cool. February 7th. I remember that because we had plans to meet up that day. And he totally broke my heart. And turns out he was not a cool guy. And then so I was just driving back. I was actually driving back home from Nashville to Memphis. It's about a 3 hour drive. I do it all the time. It's really
Mm.
nice. And I was like in the middle of that and I was stopping at this gas station. It was really cloudy and just really dark and sad. And I was just kind of sad. And then I get out of the car and I make eye contact with this guy at this gas station for like zero point 0.3 seconds. And I was like, oh my gosh, this guy is the love of my life. And keep in mind, I was sleep deprived and like also sad and heartbroken. So I might have just like hallucinated the entire thing, but he like was smiling at me and I was like smiling at him. And I was like, oh my gosh, like this guy's my soulmate. And he ended up driving away. But I was so like just flooded with all these like emotions because I think it was just a combo of like feeling very, very low and then getting to that like extreme high and then like making up this whole thing in my head. I was like, wow, this guy's my soulmate. And so like kind of I feel like that is something that happens in society a lot today. Like we kind of just like get these ideas in our heads because we want like we've grown up on these books and movies that are supposed to be like what our life's supposed to look like. And so when we like get a glimpse of that, we want to just like hold on to that, and
Mm.
just like Griffin just like be like, oh yes, like this is what life is like, and kind of just like it's sad we're like avoiding reality, but that's what I do a lot. And
Mm.
so but that's what inspired the song. And I remember I was FaceTiming my friend. I was like, guess what? I just met the love of my life. And she's like, Angelina.
Mm.
But I was so excited. So I was like, and then I still had an hour and a half left in my drive. So I started just writing the song as a joke. And I was like, this is actually funny.
Mm.
I'm gonna try to make it a song.
Oh, so it's a real life experience.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh. Oh, like
Which
boy meets girl, and then they're gone, and then the ship of the night.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. And
Oh.
like kind of just like because and then I directed and produced a music video for it too, which I really wanted to do because like um kind of the whole idea of the song, like it's like there's a lot of like depth to it, like underneath all the like fun punk rock stuff, like kind of just like our innate human need for connection and just like how kind of desperate our society is for that. And like that's kind of something that we really need now. And so like anytime we can get a glimpse of it, like we just hold on to it. And like especially like I do that a lot for sure. And so the music video I wanted, like it's pretty funny because people like meet me and they're like, wait a minute, you're not at all like you in the music video. And I'm like, oh, I know, like that's a cooler version of me. I'm not that cool. I'm not cool at all. And so like it was pretty funny. But kind of like in my head I made up this whole like thing where like I'm cool enough to like, have this cool car and like just all these things. And so like it's like the whole music video is just kind of like what I pictured in my head when we made eye contact for zero point 0.3 seconds and what I expected or like wished would happen, and then it did not happen. So
Mm.
it's pretty funny.
And the music video has just been dropped as well on
Yeah.
YouTube as well,
Mhm.
doing warmly received.
Yeah, yeah. It's been great. Yeah, I've been getting a lot of positive feedback, which has been great.
And how did you find the experience of the making this record? The process of going into the studio and where it was recorded, working with other people on it. How was that?
It was awesome. I actually got to work with because I was like, okay, I want the best musicians on this. And my cousins, actually, they're my older cousins, and they grew up playing music all across the Memphis area, and they have some tracks out, and they're amazing. And their names are Christopher Petrangelo and Patrick Petrangelo, and they're both amazing. And they're like the best guitar players and bass players I know. And so I called them up. I was like, hey, do you guys want to play on this track? And they did, and they totally helped me out with it, which I really appreciated. And so it was just me and then my awesome producer Ryan Olson in there just making it happen, and it was so fun. And it was just like I totally trusted them. That's a huge thing for music, like
Mm,
finding people you trust, because like I'm not always the best at like communicating exactly what I want. And so like when other people you're working with can kind of like help execute your vision without you even having to like say it, it's just the best. Because I'm like, oh, I don't know exactly what I want, and then they know what I want somehow, and then they make it happen. It's like, yes, that's it. So it's great. It was
cool.
awesome.
And so this record in the near future will give you a kind of passion to release more singles down the road.
Yeah, yeah, I've already started working on some, and I'm still in the studio recording. And yeah, I'll be releasing my album in a couple months, so I'm super
Mm.
excited.
So things to look forward in the pipeline.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
nice. What do you enjoy about making music? Like for instance, are you an independent artist or a self-release? Do you enjoy that
yeah.
aspect of being in charge?
Yeah, I do actually. I've been doing it since I was very young. I've always been a very independent person. I've always just been like, oh, I have an idea. I'm gonna make it happen. Like, why not? And so it's definitely crazy, and I
Mm,
totally get that. But that's just kind of who I am. I kind of just like get this idea, and I'm like, I'm gonna make it happen. Like when I was 16 years old, I ended up starting my own like character entertainment business where like we dress up as princesses and superheroes and stuff, and like go to birthday parties, and that ended up being like the biggest character entertainment company in Memphis, and we kind of like shut all the other companies down, and like and now I sold the company, and like it's a whole thing now. And so like but I just started that when I was 16. I was like, hey, I want this job, and no one's going to hire me because I'm 16 and not 18, so I'm just going to make my own company. And like that's kind of how I've always been my whole life, where I'm just like, I'm going to make my own opportunities. I'm going to tell my story. And so like
mm,
that was something, because songwriting is so vulnerable and scary. And like I have actually been doing it since I was in like third grade, but I was always too scared to share it. And like after this song, I was like, you know what? Like this is real. This is the human experience. And like it might not be, I'm sure it's not everyone's human experience, but like just like it is very vulnerable and like true to what happened to me. And so I'm like, you know what, this is my story, and I'm gonna share my story now. And like, because I love telling other people's stories, but also like everyone's story deserves to be heard. And I'm like, I'm gonna tell my story. So that's what
mm.
I've been doing through my music, which has been really special.
That's good. Speaking of you as well, it seems that music was and being in like show businesses seems to be the avenue that you were born to take that route.
Well, thank you so much. We'll see. We'll see.
Mm,
I've always been drawn to artistic and creative pursuits. And so
mm,
we'll see what comes of it. And like acting is definitely kind of my main thing that I do, and that's kind of my main love. But
mm,
like being able, because like I just love the storytelling aspect of it, but being able to tell stories through music has been incredible too. And like being able to act in my music video was just like awesome. Like I was like, oh, this is great. This is, and I love working on sets on camera. And so like that was really that was really awesome. And it was great because I also directed that, and it was really a really cool experience.
the next question I was going to ask you, where you mentioned Olivia Rodrigo, who you may like to collaborate with. Any other artists on your radar that you may wish to work with?
Oh my goodness, I would love to work with anyone. She's my absolute number one favorite, and if I got to like even just meet her, like I would. I'm actually going to her concert next week, and I'm so excited. I cannot wait. She's like I've been her fan since like she was on Grace Stirs Up Success, which is like this American Girl doll movie she did a million years ago, and then she did Bizarre Bark on Disney Channel, and I just like grew up watching her, and I was just like, oh, she's amazing. And then all of her music is just incredible. Like I just love it so much. She's my favorite artist. Um, so working with her would just be a dream. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I really like her, and I really like a lot of the music that's out mainstream today. And like I love supporting small artists as well. So I love like just going to any different like live music venue and just like watching people, and then like because there's so many wonderful like artists who are just, you know, just all around your local town. And so like I love
Mm.
supporting, meeting local artists and kind of just making those connections as well, because that's been really cool.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Supporting like-minded musicians as well. Amazing. Do you find writing lyrics as well, creating music very therapeutic to escape the challenges and pressures of everyday life? For instance, we live in a fast world.
Absolutely. Yes. I have definitely like I've been struggling with like severe anxiety since I can remember, and like kind of just, and so I've had to like this past year has especially been very challenging because I graduated high school and I'm not going to college, and like all these different things, and like I was like, oh, I'm just gonna kind of do my own thing, and then now I am going to college, but it's been a very tough year, and it's kind of been like I'm like this like baby bird, I guess, and I'm getting like exposed to the world and kind of just like my experience with all these different experiences for the first time, and just like how that is. And it's like, whoa, this is not what I expected. This is not what Disney Channel and all the Disney movies said my life was going to be. Like, what? This is weird. And so kind of like all the songs I've written are kind of just like the first time I've experienced different
Mm.
things, and just on a large emotional scale how that has been. And like some of the songs are pretty funny, but and I'm just trying to be brave, you know, like I'm not afraid to share my story.
Yeah.
And so people will like, I don't really care if people like it, but it's just what I am and who I am. So yeah.
Great. What advice would you give to someone who wants to chase their dreams? It doesn't have to be so much in the music industry, but um, nonetheless, they don't have the confidence to do so. Any advice for those people?
Absolutely, 100% just do it. That has always just been my motto. And like, if you have an idea, you can make it happen. You don't need someone, like, you don't need like people's permission. Like, just make it happen yourself. You can do it. And it's like, it's so terrifying, but it like makes you so much stronger. And like, to like kind of go through these challenges and stuff like yourself, and like being like, okay, like this is not what I expected. Like, I'm going to pivot here, and like becoming really great at creative problem solving is definitely something I recommend. You cannot get started on that too early, but and just like working with others, and like just trying to surround yourself with like a creative energy and creative environment. Like that's always been
Mm.
something that really helped me. And so, but I always just say like just do it, make it
Yeah,
happen, and like,
that's good.
you know, don't do it for other people, because I'm very much a people pleaser, and like I've always been my whole life. And so like kind of sharing stuff, and then like sometimes I get like these really mean comments. Like I actually woke up to these super mean comments on my TikTok, and I was like,
Mm.
whoa, okay. They were all like, never sing again. The song is terrible. I was like, okay. Like, and so I'm like, okay, I have to remember, like, you know, like this music isn't for other people. You know, it's my story, and like I'm doing it as like a therapeutic thing for me. And so
Mm.
like kind of, but it is hard because like, you know, you want everyone to like it, you know. And so it's a really tough thing to do. And so I
Mm.
commend everyone who has given it a shot and tried. Like that's incredible, and like it's terrifying, but it's very rewarding in the end.
Cool. Final question: where can people follow you on social media? Like streaming platforms and emailing lists and so on, websites.
Yeah, absolutely. My website is angelinadavid.com, super simple. And on there, I have all the links to my social media. My Instagram is angelina.david3. And I'm on Facebook, and I'm on TikTok. I just got on there. Um, and yeah, my email is angelina.david311 at gmail.com. So you can email me anytime. And yeah, you can find me anywhere on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, all my stuff's on there.
Fantastic. Thanks for joining me on today's show, Angelina David. And we'll try and get to play your record now on my show now. Would you like to introduce
Thank
it on?
you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Would you like to introduce it on?
Yes, yes. Um, I'm Angelina David, and this is Gas Station Boy, my new single. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Nice to meet you today. Okay, Angelina.
You.